of the 12th Annual Hillcrest Men's Intermediate. Right now we're going to be introducing the top 6 bowlers. In 6th place, who is your alternate, is Roger McGrath. He represents Fort Scott Farms. His job for this tournament is if anybody would get hurt or have to leave for any reason, he'll step in their place. In 5th place is Jim Horde. He represents Teal Painting. In 4th place is Mike Szymanski. He represents J&B Szymanski. Coming in 3rd position is Bob Osmond. He represents McCullough Industries. In our current 1st place is Mike Heilman. He represents OxyChem Perez. Where's Jeff? Okay, I did. I'm sorry. I have forgotten Jeff Williams. He's in 2nd position. I did this one other time, too. He represents Golden Giant Buildings. I'm sorry, Jeff. You'll all please rise for the national anthem. Okay, right now Jim Horde and Mike Szymanski will be bowling. They each get 2 frames of shadow balls, and then Mike will have choice of whether he wants to start or he wants Jim to start.
Good afternoon, ladies
While
and
they're doing
gentlemen.
their practice, I would like to thank Golden Image Printing. These are our moral support sponsors. Kenton Times, Dick Catterjohn, Dan King Plumbing and Heating, Amerihost Inns, SB Barbers, Water Cable. I'd like to thank Jim Horde, Kitty Joe Weber, and Mary Baum and Virginia Henderson provides the towels for your tournament. We'd like to thank our scorekeepers and everyone that worked in the office.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the 12th Annual Hillcrest Lanes Men's Intermediate Tournament.
Hey, you forgot Dudley.
Yeah, don't forget me. I'm Doug Horde. I'll be commentating your finals today. Along with me, it was Brenda Barker. This is our first time doing it solo without my sidekick Dale Albert, which is bowling in a tournament down in Columbus. So bear with us. We don't think we're ABC material yet, but we're going to work on it today.
We're getting close.
Okay, today's finals will match up in the first game will be Jim Horde against Mike Szymanski. Winner of that match will go on to bowl against Bob Osmond. The winner of that match will go against Jeff Williams, and the winner of that match will be bowling for $300 top prize. Will be bowling against Mike Heilman. A pretty interesting field today, Brenda. We got one southpaw, and the other ones are right-handed. So you might want to consider Jim might have the edge of no one using his line being on the left side. Our alternate today for today's final is Roger McGrath. He's sponsored by Pork Chop Farm. He has had the high series for this year's tournament with 887. He bowled that yesterday. He made probably the biggest jump of any men bowler yesterday. Him and Jim Horde both was pretty well hot. As the men's get ready for our first match, or throwing their practice balls. We'll be starting in probably a couple minutes. Like I said, Jim is a left-hander. He throws from the left side, outside line, pretty smooth, accurate. Really can't see too many faults in him. Mike, on the other hand, is a right-hander. He kind of bellies it out a little bit from the right side, The lane condition could play havoc in his field if the lanes dry out a little bit. Mike has decided to, I guess he's still warming up.
Jim had the high game of the tournament with 268, which is a very nice game.
Okay, this is Mike's last ball, so he has elected for Jim to start first. Good luck, gentlemen. We'd also like to thank Doug Horn, our radio commentator, and Brenda Parker, his assistant.
Too cold. Jim Hord's sponsor is Steele's Painting. Mike's sponsor is G&B Szymanski. Starting average for these two is Jim was 189.11. Mike's average starting out was a 184.47. Jim it's kind of hard not hitting a 189, finishing off with a 188, still making finals. But he had a hot day yesterday. Came all the way up. Jim started first. He started on lane 7. Started off leaving the 10 pin. Today's final lanes are on lane 7 and 8. The women's was on 5 and 6. And if you missed it, Deanna Heilman won this year's tournament with an impressive day. She averaged over 200. Jim went up and missed it off the left side, had his first open. Michael come up and first frame threw his first ball in lane 8. Hits a little bit tight, leaves the 4 pin.
He started with a 184.47 average, winding out the tournament with a 188.70, advancing quite nicely.
Right, and he had 8 200 games. So the third of his match play was 200s. He only had 20 splits, which is really good out of 24 games. He converts his spare. We'll move over to lane 7 for his second frame.
His average on the pair is a 189, which is better than his overall average for the tournament. That could play to his advantage.
Mike's been bowling for 11 years. He bowls in one league a week. I believe that's Wednesday Independent on Wednesday night.
Real smooth.
Yes.
Really.
And it's still a little bit tight, leaving the 4 pin again.
He is up by 10 at this point.
His high game for the tournament was a 251. His low game was a 149. When they bowled against each other, it was really a close game. Jim taking the game 205 to 201. And he shoots, converts the spare. So Mike opens up with 2 spares. Jim will come back, trying to rebound from his first frame. He throws from about the 3rd board out. The ball's not really coming up, leaving the 2 or the 3, 5, 6 lifting. He had a little bit of problem last night, the ball not coming up. Made some adjustments. And he's a pretty well intelligent bowler. He can really make the adjustments when he needs to do. Picks the 6 pin off, leaving him with 2 back-to-back opens, but it's still early. Jim's the type of bowler, when he does find his line, he's really impressive, hard to beat, but when he struggles, he struggles.
His average on the pair is a 184, so he can bowl quite nicely.
He's been bowling for 20 years. He only bowls one night a week. And he comes back with a light shot, gets a what we've been calling all day a bowling break, hitting it light, letting the pins do the work, getting a strike. Mike coming up on lane 8 in the 3rd frame. Mike pulling out just a little bit more that time, getting a little bit more on angle, getting it out where the dry part of the lane is, where he came back a little bit stronger, getting a strike. The oil looks like it might be dressed around the middle of the lane. That's normally been during league play. Mike up in his 4th frame on lane 7. Oh, no, that's not a bowling break. That's robbery. Really a good solid shot, leaving the 7 pin. Could have easily had a double right there.
Very nice ball.
Shoots cross alley at it a little bit. Picks it up. Mike's a very good spare shooter. You don't have too many problems. Jim up after having a strike in the 3rd frame.
Jim left just 5 splits throughout the tournament, which is excellent.
Very impressive.
He converted one of those.
That's
probably less.
Scatters the pins over everywhere, leaving the 6 pin. Bob Osmond working down on lane 1, warming up for the next match. Yeah, anytime you can bowl 24 games and only have 5 splits, his high game is, the tournament was a 268, which is high. Gets those honors. His low game was a 145. Jim converts a 6 pin, goes over to lane 7.
Taking his time and making sure he's set.
Jim always reminds me the way he bowls like an Earl Anthony, a very nice, smooth bowler. Has a tendency to throw the ball a little bit hard at times, which makes it slide a little longer, not finishing. Leaves a 5 pin on this count. Jim also, I don't know this year, but he's been bowling in Bell Fountain, which is a total different lane condition. He does real well down there. He spares up. Mike comes up in the 5th frame.
Leading by just 3 at this point.
Has a commanding lead of 23. Really no bowlers have really set the lanes on fire yet. Mike seems to have this lane. Shot the same line he shot the last time he was on lane 8. Has a 79 through 4. Set a 23 pin lead. Strike up. Shoots a little tight. Leaves a 4-7. He looks like he's playing a little bit more of an inside line on lane 7 than he does on lane 8. We got a lot better angle on the men's, so we gotta give them a little courtesy to keep our mouths shut while they're lined up. Shoots at it. Ford
getting
kicks off
spare.
to 7. Kicks out.
Jim's now up on lane 8 and is the frame working on a spare. And gets
Jim comes
a
back.
strike.
It's a light shot strike, which he desperately needs about this time. Gives him 76 through 5. Still down to 23. Strike here will decrease down to 13. And there,
Jim answers back with a double.
double. Puts him right back into the game now.
Seems to be more relaxed and
Yeah. You gotta be more focused on tournaments like this. You can't deal with a major blank out right now. Leaves the bucket on the left side. The 2, 4, 5, 8.
not getting back up to the head pin.
Not a very easy conversion. And you can't really afford to have a bad pin count. We've seen that in today's women's finals. It cost a couple of them probably the game.
And there's that.
Picks the 2, 4, 8 off, leaving the 5. His first open of the day. Gives him a 124 in the 7th frame. And that shot's very easily be able to pick. Got to hit it just right. See if Mike can come back and rebound. Little tight. Leaving the 4-10 split. Like I said, he looks like he's shooting a total different line on lane 7 than he is on lane 8. Looks like he's just shooting more straight and down and going bellying it out like he is on lane 8.
I think it's hard to shoot two different lines when you're in a situation
Right.
like this. The pressure's on.
So
and
much pressure, and you got to remember what lane, what lines, which lane. So easily can be confused. Picks the 4-pin off. The back-to-back open, 133 through 8. Now Jim, the one that struggled early in the game, looks like he's coming out of it. Has a double up. The loser of this match will get $75. The winner will go on. Still leaving it light, leaving the sleeper on the right side, the 3-9.
neither one wanting to take a command of the game at this
Right.
point. They're both kind of just feeling their way through,
Jim
trying to
looks
get
like
their
he's
spares.
struggling. Yeah, he's not hitting the pocket like he normally has.
Nerves are
Not
probably
coming up.
one-on-one is a lot different than bowling in league.
Jim missing them both, giving him a 130 through 8. So we got a 3-pin deficit for Jim Horde. Down by 3. Still not out of it. But somebody's got to start taking charge. Jim Horde's had a 296 before. He gets leaves a light 10-pin. Jim Horde also has had a 798, and he recently just done that this year. So far, it's high for the house for this bowling season of 96 and 97 season. he converts this spare.
Pin count's important here. They
Right.
need to knock down
I think-
strikes.
I think the weakness of Jim's game would be his spare shooting. He needs to probably focus a little bit more on that. Mike coming up on lane 8, gets it out. Just got it out just a little too far. Didn't come back enough, leaving the 2-5. Still a pretty good crowd here. Not as good as when the women's bowled, but Mike goes to convert, and I think he thought he got it out a little bit too far. Comes back enough to pick it up. Mike takes a 3-pin lead going into the 10th frame.
Mike can put a lot of pressure on Jim at this point. If he strikes out, he will win the game. If he spares and strikes,
Mike,
then
Mike needs a double and 8 pins to shut out Jim Horde. It looks like he got it out there a little bit
and
that
gets a
time.
shake and strike.
Got the strike. On that shot, he did look like he made a little bit of adjustment. Got it out there on the lane a little bit more than he has been on lane 7. Lane 7's been his nemesis. Got it out there again. Pushed it too much out on the lane, leaving the 1, 2, 8.
Very hard spare.
He needs at least 1 to make Jim have to strike the first ball in the 10th. Which I don't think would be no problem for Mike, because he makes it up. So now what Jim's got to do, he's got to come up and double. No double, no more bowling. That's all that matters. And this has been his trouble lane. Oh, and probably his best shot of the whole day, and he gets robbed by the 7-pin.
Very nice, relaxed shot. Leaving
So Mike Schmansky will go on and bowl
Bob
against Bob Osmond. Jim Horde goes ahead and picks it up. Mike had a 173. Jim strikes here with a 169. He only gets 8, so he gets a 167. So there you have it. You got Mike Schmansky with a 173 over Jim Horde, 167. Mike will move on, bowl against Bob Osmond in the second game.
Good game, gentlemen. Winner of your first game is Mike Schmansky, 173, Jim Horde, 167. Next up will be Bob Osmond. You get two frames on each lane, and then it's your choice.
Well, while Bob's taking some warm-up shots, let's go through the other finalists. In 6th place is Roger McGrath. His sponsor is Pork Chop Farms. Louis Heilman finished 7th. His sponsor was Midway Restaurant. In 8th place was Dan Kelly. His sponsor was Kroger's. Monty Vermillion finished 9th. His sponsor was Hair Gallery and the Varsity Club. In 10th place was Mark Lease. His sponsor was B&L Enterprises, Brian Lowe. In 11th place was Tony Barker. His sponsor was B&B Body Shop. In 12th place was Bob Legg. His sponsor was Hillcrest Lanes. You want to take on them? They'll know you're still here.
Tom Risch, and he finished in 13th position. His sponsor was Risch Masonry. 14th position was Gene Bourne with Mount Victory Meats as his sponsor. 15th position was Harry Ellis Jr. His sponsor was Sons of the Ambets Post 1994. 16th place was Dan Wells, and his sponsor was Price Funeral Home. 17th position was Terry Clapsaddle. His sponsor was Speed, the snowmobile shop. 18th position was Bob Wells, and his sponsor. Steve Myers was Bob Walls' sponsor. 19th position was Jim Botchlet, with his sponsor was B&R Remodeling. 20th position was Leonard Lay, and his sponsor was Hardin County Horseshoe Club. Steve Myers was in 21st.
Steve McCullough was in 21st. His sponsor was Nelson's Insurance. 22nd place was Brian McGrath. His sponsor was Eagles Lodge 2163.
Mike will start on lane 7.
In 23rd spot was Brian Zachariah. His sponsor was DNR Parts and Equipment and Vogel Insurance Agency. And 24th spot was Gene Wells, Kenton Structural. Here we go with the second match. Mike Schmansky starting off against Bob Osmond. And Mike leaving the ringing 10 pin. On lane 7. So Jim Horde goes home with $75, finishing 5th. He'll get a shirt by the Kenton Bowling Association. Mike opens up with a spare, picks up the 10 pin. Bob Osmond comes up. His sponsor is McCullough Industries. Came in with a 190.24 average. He finished with a 190.7 average. Pretty consistent.
You need to be consistent to be in a tournament like this. To get your average is important. All the pins you're over your average goes towards making top 5, which is important.
Oz opens up with a head-on strike, we'll say. Hitting the head pin pretty much head-on and by getting a break and 10 pin falling. So he'll move over to lane 7 for his second frame. Once again, he hits a head pin head on. This time he wasn't as fortunate, leaving the 4-6 split. Now here on this shot, I personally would go for the pin count. 4-6 is very hard to convert. It's possible, but the odds are more against you than it is for you.
It's about like the 7-10 and
Right.
He
Gotta go on.
He left 16 splits throughout the tournament and converted one of those.
So 16, if I figure you could go less than 1 split a game, you're pretty good. 16 splits. I think I've had 16 splits in one night. One of those days. Mike comes up with lane 8, gets it, shoots it out, comes back hard, leaves the 10 pin. Mike's throwing a real good ball. He's made some adjustments. Let's see where it can take him. The loser of this match will go home with $85. The winner will move on.
Mike defeated Bob Osmond during tournament play with a 232 to Bob's 213. Very nice games.
Oh yeah. I have a feeling once they get on, it's going to be a good match. Ozzy we call him. He can string. He's known to string. Very talented bowler. He bowls on Thursday night in the Sportsman League with us. Mike got it out a little bit too far on that time, leaving the 1-2-4-7. Another difficult one, very easily pick. You got to hit it on the left side. You can hit it on the right side, but no guarantee the 1-2-4 is going to knock the 7 out. No guarantee. Just what I told him to pick it up, he still knocked the 1-2-4 out, leaving the 7-pin standing, his first open of this game, leaving him 44 in the 3rd frame. So both bowlers having one open as of now. Oz is up on lane 8 in the 3rd frame. I knew he threw that bad ball. As soon as he let go of it, pushing it out a little bit too far, leaving the 1-2-4-8.
A hard spare.
Another one. I think they're all hard.
When you're up on TV,
some nights are harder than the other. Yeah, you want to get up here, you want to throw only one ball.
There.
And he converts it nicely. Yeah, you can be a good spare shooter, and you come into game situations like this, and you can be a total different person.
You could say it'd be all thumbs.
All right.
And fingers.
Anything can go wrong. Nervousness, let the ball slip off your hand, anything. The adrenaline might be too much force on you. Bob Osmond up here on lane 7 in the 4th frame. Throws a little tighter ball, a little bit more inside, leaving the 4-pin. He has a 3-pin lead right at this moment. His high game for this tournament was a 246. His low game was a 130. He only averaged a 177 on this pair. So he struggled a little bit.
Converting the spare in the 4th frame with confidence.
And we forgot to mention Mike beat Bob 232 to 213, but in position round, Bob turned around and beat Mike 209 to 186 last night.
Pulling that one a little bit.
Mike pulled that one. Hit it a little tight, got a break, only left a 6-pin. Winner of this match will go against Jeff Williams. And he picks this up real nicely. So Mike faces a 3-pin deficit, still early in the game. Shooting a lot of spares, so it's most important to get as many pins as you can. Don't go out and leave washouts or nothing like that. 6 count, that kills you. It could come back to haunt you. Mike gets it out a little bit. But it's probably one of his best balls today on that lane. Strikes, gives him 64 in the 4th. Brings up Bob Osmond with a 47 in the 3rd with a spare up. Strikes here, he'll maintain his 3-pin lead. That looks good.
And
it is.
Answers back to Mike's strike.
Slides in the pocket very nicely, answers it. Retains his 3-pin lead. Now let's see if any of these bowlers can take a handle, take the horns by the What's that saying?
You're older than I am, Doug.
Take the bull by his horns. I was thinking cow. Cow don't have horns. Bob gets up here, hits it a little tight. Leaves a 4-7 split or pickup. Getting past my nap time.
Getting a little help knocking that 10-pin out, or he would have had a split there.
Yeah, he hit it real tight. A little slower going up the line.
And converts it.
Got this. In game situations like this, you have a little bit of tendency to rush the line a little bit, pull your shots. You really can't control it because your adrenaline's flowing so big.
There's no help up there for you either. You're on your own at this point.
Mike throws a double, first double of today's game. This game. It looked like it was going to come up a little tight, but it kind of glided right into the pocket.
That puts him in the lead at this point.
Right. Mike in the 7th frame. And he does.
Kathy Ford, telephone.
So Mike's putting a little bit of pressure on Oz midway through the game.
Now's the time to get moving.
Ozzy's gonna have to get it in gear. Throwing about the 5th board in, that looked good.
And gets a strike. Answering back to the cookie thrown by Mike.
So 107 through 6. Down about approximately 20 to 25 pins. Jeff Williams down on lane 1, warming up. He'll meet the winner of Oz and Mike. Pulled that one a little bit too much. Hit it head on. Got a little bit of a break there, left the 6-pin. Looks like he's pulling it a little bit. Needs to follow through. Get it out on the lane.
Pretty miss there.
Picks it up. Giving Oz a 127 through 7. Mike can take full control with a good frame here. Gets it out there.
And it sets in the pocket and
He's throwing a good ball. He's throwing a real good ball right now. Here we go into the 9th frame. Mike's got 4 in a row. Holds his ball down to the side. Doesn't have that big of a backswing. Hold that one just a little bit, but got enough break on that. Got him through, so Mike has a 5-bagger. And now really all Mike's got to do now is to stay behind the line, stay clean.
Very nice game going.
Now Oz just don't look like he's gotten deep concentration. Leaves the 1, 2, 4, 8. That pretty much wipes him out. We all have those days though, and you got it, you don't. And normally Bob does real good. He bowls on Thursday nights. A lot of times he bowls in these jackpots, and I hear his name called. Yeah. So
Very consistent bowler.
we're just gonna have to come back another year, and might be his year.
To carry 190 average, you have to be real consistent.
Right.
And he's been bowling a lot of 600s this year. He's been really
And he's
hot.
and his probably his weakness is, I'd say, is spare shooting too. When Oz struggles on his first ball, he takes him a while to adjust, but normally he makes the right adjustments. And like I said, you know, in tournaments like these, you ain't got the next game to rebound.
Right.
You can't afford it. So Oz will finish up on his 10th frame. Marks out. If he strikes here, he can finish out with a 180. Not a Bob Osmond's game, but these are not normal conditions either.
TV plays havoc. People not talking, you're used to the noise and the kids.
Right.
And
Oh yeah,
it's
exactly.
a different setting at this
And
point.
I think when you bowl in these, I'd rather have the noise. So
Yeah.
So Oz gets 8 on his last ball and finishes out with a 178.
Nice game. Not enough to take the game, but still a very nice game.
Mike Szymanski will finish out in the 10th, already knowing he's going to be bowling the next game. Normally when you already have it won and going in the 10th frame, you might want to make some adjustments if you're struggling, but really Mike looks like he's made the adjustments all he wants and comes up and leaves the double pinochle for 4, 6, 7, 10. But it ain't going to hurt him.
He may have made an adjustment just to find out maybe you could play a different line, and
Right.
now he knows
He,
that it's
he
not
has
gonna
been
work.
coming up a little tight, and maybe he's just trying different things. No harm there, as long as you know you got it won. Just channels that ball. Still finishes out with a 202. Nice game. So Mike Szymanski takes this game over Bob Osmond, 202 to 178. Mike will go ahead and meet Jeff Williams.
Nice game, gentlemen. Mike Szymanski advances on with the 202 over Bob Osmond's 178. Coming on is Jeff Williams. His sponsors Golden Giant Buildings. He'll get 2 frames on each lane. We would like to thank the organizers of the tournament. That's Charles Howell and Brian McGrath, and some of the office help that was there most of the time. That was Wilma Albert. There were other ladies that they would also like to thank, but she was in there quite a bit.
So Bob Osmond will go home with $85. Mike will move on and bowl this game against Jeff. Bob will also get a shirt donated by the Kenton Bowling Association. The other moral support sponsors for this year's tournament was Golden Image Printing, Richard Catterjohn, Amherst Inn, Warner Cable, Kenton Times, Dan King Plumbing and Heating, SB Barber. We got a memorial for George Kozad. That goes for Pins Over Average. It's a plaque donated by the Kozad family. Splits converted gets $25 for the person who converted the most splits. Was donated by the Hillcrest Lanes employees. The High Game and High Series of $50 each was donated by the Kenton Bowling Association. And the last place trophy was donated by Classic Trophy. The first place person will get $300, a jacket by the trophy, a jacket by the tournament. The trophy, first place trophy was given by Jumpin' Gems. We'll also get a shirt by the Kenton Bowling Association. Second place will get $175, a jacket, a trophy by Hillcrest Lanes, and also a shirt by Kenton Bowling Association. Third place is
Jeff
$100.
Williams shows that Mike Szymanski will start and start with 7.
So Jeff has elected Mike to start off this game. Third place gets $100 donated and a shirt donated by Kenton Bowling Association. Fourth place, like I said, is $85, a shirt by Kenton Bowling Association. Fifth place is $75, a shirt by the Kenton Bowling Association. Mike opens up with a strong strike, very powerful in the pocket. Brings up Jeff Williams, will throw his first ball of the game. Sixth place gets $65, a shirt by the Kenton Bowling Association. Seventh place gets $55. Eighth place, $45. Ninth place gets $45. 10th, 11th, and 12th place also gets $45.
It starts out with a commanding strike. Very nice ball. Uses the outside line.
He throws a wicked ball.
A little bit more powerful.
Right. Gets a lot of revolutions on it. He's a big man, so he can handle that revolution.
Get you a lot more pin count behind.
He's had a 300 before.
His sponsor is Golden Giant Buildings.
Leads the right-handed Nightmare, the 10-pin. Jeff has also had a 705 high series. His high game for the tournament was a 257. I don't know if I should say his low game, because he's a lot bigger than I am, but what the heck. 124. He picks the 10-pin up.
That was probably one of those games where he left a lot of those 10 splits that he had left throughout
Right.
the tournament. He probably left those in that game, converting 2 of those throughout the tournament. He had 11 200 games throughout the tournament, which is very nice.
Almost half of his games.
He's bowled for 16 years.
Mike struggling a little bit on lane 8. Left the 610. Yeah, we've had 3 people in this tournament that's had a career 300 game. Jeff Williams, Terry Clapsaddle, and Mike Heilman. Mike's, I think, had 2 of them.
Yes.
Just had one this year.
And he's top seed in the tournament right now.
He's might go ahead and converted that spare. Goes over to lane 7 on the 3rd frame. Last year's winner was Buddy Beer. Mike comes back with a good powerful strike there.
Jeff's working on a spare in the 2nd frame. He's up on the 3rd frame and then on alley 8. And another solid 10.
With a power ball like he throws, he does leave a lot of 10 pins.
He changes to a blue hammer to shoot his spares.
It's a harder ball, so it won't hook as much. Hold that one a little bit, got away with it. I think the air kicked on there.
Yeah.
So Jeff Williams has a 39 after 2, down by 1, going into the 4th frame.
His average on the pair was 176.5.
He struggled too. He's hammering the pocket though. Throwing a real good ball. Really just needs to stay right there. The 10 pin ain't gonna stand every time. Mike Heilman, he's our leader after our 24 game match play. He's warming up on lane 1. We'll meet the winner between Mike and Jeff. Okay, Mike opens up now with a double. I have a feeling this is going to be an explosive game, a good, powerful game. Both bowlers are capable of throwing good games.
Mike beat Jeff Williams during match play 210 to 192, which is excellent games for both of them. And it looks like they're going to maybe top that today.
Mike got his line. Jeff's got his line. This might be a quick game.
Yes.
We won't have to worry about what pin's standing up, because there ain't none. Jeff up on lane 8 in the 5th frame.
And carries the 10 pin that time.
That time 10 pin didn't stand. So he has a 2-bagger.
Very nice slow approach. Very nice finish. He goes on Thursday nights. Averages quite well.
Right. Gets a little light hit there. He has a 3-bagger now. Jeff stays down at the line pretty good. Very quiet person. You don't hear too much out of him.
Concentrates quite well.
Right.
He's very focused on the game. Mike's still pounding the pocket.
Right. He has a 4-bagger now. Has 100 through 4. Got an 11-pin lead. The only way to keep the lead is keep striking.
Nothing's over till the last ball's thrown.
Right.
Normally.
Normally. Throws it out. Looks good. Oh, leaves a solid 10-pin. Both bowlers are got the line. Both of them are getting hit hard with the 10-pin.
That's what happens when you hit in the pocket.
That's right.
Most generally, you're going to leave it in.
Picks it up on the light side, but picks it up. So Mike has a 149 through 6. Got a 1-pin lead.
Jeff's working on a turkey.
Jeff stays behind the ball real well.
And gets a 4-bagger.
That's a little tight. It looked like he pulled it just a hair, but the speed on the ball he has, a little hair ain't gonna matter. The strike here will tie things up and put Jeff into the advantage seat.
It's hard to come out and pick up the ball and throw a lot of strikes like Jeff is doing at this point. Nerves can play a big factor, but he's doing quite well.
Goes a little hard on that one. Ooh. Solid 10-pin. Oh, you bowled against his sister Cheryl Light in the finals, and she had and she has about the same much problems as the brother's having right now, but she has a problem with the 7-pin. And picks it up. 168 through 7. Mike holding a 1-pin lead going into 8th frame.
Both working on clean games at this point.
You holds that one a little bit.
Leaves the 310.
Probably the first bad break. First bad break of today's match between these two. Leaves the 3-10. We call it the baby split. Pick it up two ways, go between them or kick the 3 into the 10. He chooses to go between them. Does it like he knows what he's doing.
Very nice.
So, Mike finds himself down by 1 pin now, going into the 9th frame. All our matches have been pretty close all day. The last match was really the one that knew the winner going into the 10th frame.
More excitement coming down to the 10th frame.
Right. That's what the finals are all about. He looks like he's losing a little bit. Another bad pin count, leaving the 3-6-10. About the same thing he left the last frame, except for the 6 pin standing on this one. So you'll want to go at it that same way he shot the last frame. And he does. So Jeff will come up here in the 10th frame. His fate's in his hands right now.
He'll finish out, either putting pressure on Mike or...
Got a 4 pin lead going into the 9th frame. Hold that one a little bit. Left the break, oh, bad break. Left a 4-6-7 split. Doesn't need that. Gives him a 185 in the 8th frame. A 1 pin lead, but it's about ready to diminish. We want to go after the count.
Very tough break.
194 now in the 9th frame. Strike out. We still have a good 224.
Still putting pressure back on
Strikes
Mike.
out will make Mike have to double his first 2 strikes. First 2 balls.
Another close game.
Another going down to the wire. That one looks a lot better.
And carries. Very nice comeback.
Don't count Jeff out.
Very nice comeback after the...
Looking up the score sheet, trying to figure out what he needs.
Very competitive.
He needs strikes. He very is.
Very, very.
He's always up there.
Works
A lot of time he goes down bowls in those Bell Fountain, top of the hill, King of the Hill. Does real well down there. Him and his wife Teresa. Okay.
Recovering quite nicely.
Recovering quite nicely.
Works a lot on his game. He practices quite a bit.
Oh yeah, he's improved over the last 5 years. If you'd come out and see him, he'd always be practicing. If he'd have a bad night on a Thursday night, you'd see him practicing after the league play, get his stuff together. Very competitive person. Leaves 9. So Jeff finishes off with a 223. We won't know now if it's going to be good enough till Mike finishes out. This first ball is going to be the crucial one. You can't afford to get a bad pin count.
We could very possibly have a tie.
We could have a tie.
9 spare strike. Is it tie?
Got it out.
And he
Look
strikes.
good. And now he needs a mark. A spare.
To
9.
win by
A
1.
9 count. The next 2 balls will force a tie. Anything less, he puts his balls away. Gets up there and throws it out. Looks good.
And carry.
Yeah. So he will advance.
To meet Mike Heilman, who is practicing now on alley 1.
So we got 2 Mikes. This is going to be fun.
I think a Mike wins it, though.
So we know, yeah, Mike's going to win.
Very nice finish for both bowlers. Very good game.
That's pretty bad when a 223 is not good enough.
Way above their average. And
So Mike Szymanski finishes off with a 232 over Jeff Williams, 223. Mike will move on to the championship match going against Mike Heilman.
Good game, gentlemen. Mike Szymanski's coming on top, 232 to Jeff Williams, 223. Very close match. Our next competitor is Mike Heilman. Two frames on each line. His sponsor is OxyChem Direct.
So if you missed it earlier today, Deanna Heilman was crowned the 1996 Women's Hillcrest Women's Intermediate Tournament champion. We're in our final match of the men's. As the first game, Mike Szymanski beat Jim Horde 173 to 167. Our second game was Mike Szymanski over Bob Osmond with a 202 to a 178. Then the last game, Mike Szymanski beat Jeff Williams with an impressive 232 to 223. Brenda, it's needless to say the scores are getting better as we keep on going.
and a lot of strikes are being thrown at this point. They put on a good show for the crowd.
Right. And I don't think this game's going to be any different. Both bowlers are capable of throwing the string of strikes. Mike Heilman's another bowler that's been working on his game. He's improved a lot lately over the last 5 years. He's another one that struggles on a league night. He'll stay and practice. You see him out here on the weekends practicing. A very competitive individual.
Bowling 2-300s is a beat a lot of people would like to take. Getting one would be no.
Great, but two is
He's done real well.
fantastic.
Done real well. Can definitely get the strikes and throws a good ball from the outside.
Mike Heilman
Gets a lot of turn on the ball.
Mike Szymanski to start the match. Good luck, gentlemen.
Make sure you specify which one you're talking about.
So this is our championship match. Mike Heilman has elected Mike Szymanski to start off. I don't know if I'd really want you to do that. He started off all 3 games.
And has come out on top.
All 3 games.
The pressure he must be able
Except
to
for the
handle
first
it.
game. Jim started off the first game.
Yeah. At Mike's discretion.
Yeah. So Mike pulls his first shot of the 4th game today for him. Leads to 3-6-10. No, he throws it out a little bit too much. Picks his a 6-10 off, leaving his first open of this game. Mike Heilman will come up now and start off this game on lane 8.
Mike's sponsor is Occidental Chemical, Durez. He averaged 185.75 on 7 and 8.
And he leaves a solid 10 pin. Mike throws a little bit tight inside line, puts a little bit of speed on it, so it won't come back too much, too fast. Normally he throws a little bit more on the outside line, but the oil, with all the games being bowled today, the oil is being pushed. in the middle. And Mike opens up with a open. He channels that ball, leaving the 10 still standing. So both of them not starting off too well. Here we thought we might be having an action-packed game, but maybe we won't. But both bowlers can rebound. They showed it in the past.
In the last 3 games, they've all had their share of opens, and last game was really close.
So Mike opens up the second, kicks the 10, but not hard enough to make it fall. Let's see if he can adjust a little bit, go back like we talked. I know how I am. You miss one, you really kind of concentrate thinking about it, especially when you do it back-to-back frames. You do not want to leave those kind of pins too often.
Your mind thinks about it once you've missed it, and it works on you a little bit.
Throws the ball real hard on his spare shot. A little bit cuts the revolutions out.
Backs and converts it nicely.
Comes back, picks it up. All right. Mike Szymanski, see if he can rebound on lane 8. This has been his bread and butter lane. Shooting, looks like he might better make a little bit of an adjustment because it looks like they're coming up a little bit tight now. Needs to move a little bit left. Throw the same line. It seems to be working for him, but that's done. Having a little lane problems here. Mike gets up there and throws out his 4-pin. That's no problem there. So both bowlers opened in the first, both bowlers spared in the second. Mike Szymanski will move up on lane 7 in the 3rd frame. Hopefully we'll try to get some of these strikes that we've been seeing all afternoon. First game was a little bit of a cold game, but it seemed like things started warming up. A little chilly in here. Got to keep it comfortable for the bowlers. They're playing tricks on Mike, it looks like. And a little bit of problems on lane 7 right at the moment. Well, let's talk a little bit about like Mike Heilman. He started the tournament with a 182.24. He finished with a really remarkable 200.2. He had 13 games over 200, which means over half of his games was over 200. His high game for the tournament was a 247. His low game was 164.
That's very good bowling. For all the games that you bowl throughout the tournament, your body starts to fatigue and you get a little sore. And you get, that's great. That's wonderful bowling.
These tournaments are really, takes a lot out of you. You got to be here both weekends, especially if your spouse bowls in them too. You're here from 11 o'clock in the morning till 11 o'clock at night. You get a little bit of a break for supper and dinner, but other than that, you bowl 8 games a day. Come back the next day and have to do the same thing. That first ball really hurts.
Your fingers get really sore. Most of the guys will throw fingertip, and it makes it.
Oh, while we're having lane problems, we'll take a little break here. Okay, we're back after a little bit of problems on lane 7. We got that taken care of. We'll resume action in the 3rd frame with Mike Szymanski.
We're all even at this point.
With the spare up.
And after the break, coming back for the strike. Sometimes the break will.
Yeah. Well, when you get in these finals, you know, you have a tendency to rush. I mean, you're up and down, and not like league play when you got, 4 other bowlers in front of you. You're going to take your time and go. And it takes 3 hours to bowl 3 games. It takes us 1 hour to bowl 4. So, if the rapid pace does anything. Mike Holland will be coming up on lane 8. Once again, we have a little bit of problem with the break back there on lane 7. Mike Hallman had 19 splits in the tournament, converted 2. He bowls on 2 leagues during the week, and I believe that might be Wednesday Independent and Sportsman. I know he bowls the Sportsman. He's been bowling for 11 years. So I guess we're going to have another break. We'll be back. Well, we're finally back here after about a 15-minute delay. Got the lane fixed. Mike Hallman is in the 3rd frame with a spare up. Mike Szymanski has 29 through 2 with a strike up. Strike here will even everything up. Throws it out nicely. Rides a little tight, and that didn't help him. Pins kept falling, but left probably the most difficult split bowling's got, and that's a 7-10 split.
It has been done on TV before.
Right.
Pros have done it.
I picked it up back in '78 because I was mad. He throws the ball real hard, does what you got to do, try to knock the pin to ricochet off, but bounced right back onto the ball. Picks the 10 off, leaves the 7 standing. He has his second open out of 3 frames, leaves him 36, 3rd frame. So both bowlers getting a little bit of a rest. Might have hampered Mike. Now he's really struggling now. He left the 3, 6-10, pulling the ball big time. I think what he needs to really do is maybe belly it out just a little bit more. The speed he's got will carry him. So as he goes after the 3, 6-10. Picks it up nicely.
Mike Hallman beat Mike Szymanski during match play 194 to 149. Looks like this one's going to be close too.
Right. Mike Szymanski up. Throws a little bit. Leaves a solid 4 pin. Last shot was just a little bit tight. Mike needs to make a little bit of adjustment. He's pounding that pocket a little too tight for his own good. A couple frames from now, he might be paying a price if you don't make some adjustments. Goes after that and lets it slide. It gets in the oil, doesn't come back. He has his second open. He has 57 through 4, still up by 1 pin over Mike Hallman. Both bowlers really struggling here early in the championship match. Mike in the 5th frame. 7 pin kicks out the 4 pin, comes back with a strike. It looks like a little bit better ball, still a little tight, but Mike Hallman's going to have to make some major adjustments. There he goes, gets it out a little bit too much.
Oh, that just a little bit.
But he looked like he moved a little bit more on the outside. He needs to stay where he was before and just belly it out a little bit more. Leaves a 3 pin. You know, some bowlers that when they want to make a move, they move their feet. Some needs to know if you make a move, keep the same line, just belly it out. There's so many things you can adjust. Get it more out on the lane. Speed. You have to. Speed on the ball. Lanes are going to be drying out now. They'll be in the 4th game.
A lot of balls have been thrown. oil is, like you said
Been-
earlier, is carrying down.
Yeah, and they're throwing about around the same line, so the oil's being pushed to other areas on the lane. You've seen that with Mike Szymanski on his spare shot, just got in the middle and just couldn't get out of the oil.
Mike getting a big break there. Leaving the 4-pin. Pins were flying everywhere.
Right. That shot, he looked like he just threw it in the middle and threw a little bit more speed on it. Picks it up, no problem. So Mike Szymanski has a 3-pin lead now going into the 6th frame. He has a strike up, could take a good early advantage midway through this championship match. Looks like he dropped it a little bit, couldn't get a break, left a solid 10-pin.
Still throwing a nice ball.
Yeah, he's throwing a nice ball. He just needs to make it just a little minor adjustment. I wouldn't really change too much. Maybe a half board off to his left. Shooting at the 10-pin. 6th frame. Picks it up. So he has 77 through 5 against Mike Hallman, 74. 3 pins going into the 7th frame on lane 7.
Winner of this match will go home with $300 and a nice trophy and shirt.
And
Second place gets a shirt.
Shirt and
trophy.
jacket and $175. So not bad for a bad little payday. Mike Szymanski answers with a strike on lane 7. Except for the first frame, he's struck on every ball in the lane 7.
Mike Heilman has decided to switch balls at this point, making a big change late in the game.
Throwing it more on the out. Rides a little bit, hits it tight, gets a break, throws a strike. Now maybe this is where our strikes will come in. Maybe we put a jinx on him for saying this could be an explosive game. But with all the lane problems, the breaks we've had, that could have took its toll. The nerves probably are setting in a little bit more tighter now, knowing the winner gets 300, the loser only gets 175, which I'd take for one game. Still hitting that high. Leaves the 4-6-10 split. That's a bad thing about Mike. I've seen him in the past. When he's on his game, he can't be stopped, but when he struggles, it just don't seem like he can make the adjustments as fast as others.
Gets 2.
Takes 2 out of the 3 out, leaves him with 122 in the 8th frame.
Running out of time.
I'm running out of time.
Get in game and get some strikes and put some pressure on Mike Szymanski at this point.
Mike Szymanski can really take the commanding lead. Crosses over, hits it high on the Brooklyn side. Got away with a break, leaves the 3-pin. But right now, you just want to leave these easy spares. If you're going to have to shoot spares, make them easy. Don't make anything harder on yourself.
As we've seen earlier, anything can happen and you can lose the game on it.
Right.
In one frame.
Both these bowlers are really struggling. And Mike Hyman's not out of it yet because he's the type of bowler that can do like a Jeff Williams can do. String, strikes, that's what it got him here. That's what got him in today's final. So you know he can do it. gets robbed by the 10 pin once again. Gives him a 136 in the 8th frame.
Leading by 14 at this point.
Mike Heilman will have the pressure coming into the 9th frame, needing to string some strikes. But with a couple 300 games, you know he can handle the pressure. He knows what he's got to do. You know, he's just got to get the job done.
Mike converting his 10 pin in the 9th frame, setting up quite nicely to go into the 10.
This is the do or die shot right here. Switches. Throws it out, throws a little bit more in the middle, and gets a break. But that was a lot better of a ball. He shot from the inside, shot it out a little bit. With the teal rhino, that ball will ride a little bit, and then hammer at the end. You need to strike, keep on striking, notice. If he wants that 300 bucks.
If he strikes out here, it puts a lot of pressure on Mike Szymanski. He has to strike out to win by 5.
Yeah, he does. Gets another one, doubles up. That's gonna probably force Mike now to at least mark. Taking a little extra time. Hold that one. Gets 9. Gonna have a possible 171, but still it's forcing Mike to have to double. Or mark, I mean. And Mike Szymanski will be on his lane that he's been struggling on.
Still a close game. And he finishes.
So Mike Heilman finishes off with a 171. Mike Szymanski comes up here knowing he needs to mark to take the $300 first place prize home with him. He's been hitting this lane a little hard, so anything's possible. Gets it out a little bit. Oh, crosses over. Could have been trouble there. Leaves the 6-9 conversion.
Needs to spare here.
We'll see what kind of pressure Mike can handle. Shooting off to his right side. Might not have been as high a game as I expected, but at least it was a close one. And it looks like he's got this one, so now he needs at least 8. It's not over with yet. Needs 7 to tie, 8 to win on this shot here. We could possibly still have a tie and prolong this day a little longer.
He bowled real well all day. Mike's done real well all day.
The fatigue's probably setting in. It is a very stressful thing going. That looks good. No problem there. So Mike Szymanski is our 1996 Hillcrest Lanes Men's Intermediate Champion for this year. Sit with Leanne. She'll be giving out the prizes.
Nice game, gentlemen. Sorry for the inconvenience of the breakdown, but as you can tell, it's like a car. You never know when that's going to happen. Mike Szymanski is our 1996 champion. Mike Heilman will finish in second place. Okay, gentlemen. We're going to start with 24th. If your sponsors are here with you, we do ask that they come up with you so that we can recognize them, because without them, we wouldn't have a tournament.
Ready to get up?
Brian, you didn't finish last.
Yeah,
In
last
20,
week to do it.
I know. In 24th position was Gene Wells. His sponsor was Kenton Structural. In 23rd position was Brian Zachariah. His sponsor was DNR Parts and Equipment and Vogel Insurance Agency. In 22nd, and already in place, is Brian McGrath. His sponsor is Eagles 2163. In 21st position is Steve McCullough. His sponsor is Nelson's Insurance Agency. In 20th position, where'd you go? Yeah, I know you're here. I've seen you earlier. In 20th position is Leonard Lay. His sponsor is Hardin County Horseshoe Club. In 19th position is Jim Botchlet. His sponsor is B and R Remodeling. By the time you get there, you'll be the sponsor. Yeah. In 18th position was Bob Walls. His sponsor was Steve Myers Auto Sales. In 17th position was Terry Clapsaddle. His sponsor was Speed, the snowmobile shop. In 16th position was Dan Wells. His sponsor was Price Funeral Home. In 15th position was Harry Ellis Jr. His sponsor is Amvets Post 1994. In 14th position was Gene Bourne. His sponsor was Mount Victory Meats. In 13th position was Tom Risch. His sponsor was Risch Masonry. In 12th position was Bob Legg. His sponsor was Hillcrest Lanes, and he will receive $45. In 11th position was Tony Barker. His sponsor is B&B Body Shop, and he will also receive $45. In 10th position was Mark Leeds. His sponsor was B&L Enterprises, Brian Lowe. He also receives $45. In 9th position was Monty Vermillion. His sponsor was Hair Gallery and Varsity Club. He also receives $45. In 8th position was Danny Kelly. His sponsor was Kroger, and he receives $45. In 7th position was Louis Holman. His sponsor, Midway Restaurant, and he receives $55. In 6th position, and our alternate for the tournament, is Roger McGrath. His sponsor was Pork Chop Farms. He received $65 and a shirt courtesy of Kenton Men's Bowling Association. In 5th position was Jim Horde. His sponsor was Tools Painting. He received $75 and a shirt courtesy of Kenton Men's Bowling Association. In 4th was Bob Osmond. His sponsor was McCullough Industries. Steve McCullough is his sponsor. He also bowled in the tournament. He received $85 and a shirt courtesy of Kenton Men's Bowling Association. In 3rd position is Jeff Williams. His sponsor is Golden Giant Building. He received $100 and a shirt courtesy of Kenton Men's Bowling Association. And a runner-up in this year's tournament is Mike Heilman. His sponsor is Oxychem Derez. He received $175 and a shirt courtesy of Hillcrest Lanes. He also gets a shirt and a jacket. And our champion for this tournament, now it's time to get up, Mike, is Mike Szymanski. His sponsor is J&B Szymanski. That's his mom and dad. He received $300 for the tournament, a trophy courtesy of Jumpin' Jills, and a shirt and a jacket. Okay, now our special prizes. What do they do with that? Aha! High game actual. Receiving $50 will be Jim Horde. That's for a 268, and that is courtesy of Kenton Men's Bowling Association. For high series actual is Roger McGrath. He rolled an 887. He receives $50 courtesy of Kenton Men's Bowling Association. Pins over average plaque in memory of George F. Kozad. Becky, are you still here? Will be presented by his daughter, Becky Kozad. Georgie, are you coming? Chris Castle. And his grandson, Billy. And that will be presented to Mike Heilman. His 437 pins over his average. And for the points converted, which is being presented by the Hillcrest employees, goes to Bob Walls. He converted 6 of 18 splits for $25. Thank you, gentlemen. Thank you, sponsors. Thank you, everyone that has helped. It was a great tournament.